Ahoy, mateys! And welcome to another episode of the SpongePod Squarecast. I'm ready, a SpongePod Squarecast. I have said that intro so many times, and other than the first, I always mess up my own title because this is still in. I'm not stopping this. I am here with my good friend Mike.
How you doing?
Avid Nickelodeon and SpongeBob fan, as myself. Yeah, you think I would get that intro down, but I think it's charming that I'm
just flubbing a little bit.
just flubbing a little bit. It's realistic. I like to pull back the curtain just a tad to tell people, hey, I'm human. And and I said this before. I had the idea years ago to have a show called SpongePod Squarecast, and when I scoured the internet, I couldn't find anyone using that name. But because of my pure laziness, I was like, I'll do it next time. I'll do it next time. I'll do it next year in a few months.
No one picked it.
No one picked it. And then after, which was ironic, we are sitting here a day from the year anniversary of the passing of Steven Hillenburg.
R.I.P.
That was a sad day for me, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start it. This is the catalyst. I had just seen the Broadway show. He passed on. And then I looked online, and there was about 500 SpongePod Squarecasts. And it gave me a little anxiety. I'm like, great, now I gotta try a new title. So adding the "I'm ready" really, you know what? It's a statement. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Absolutely.
No, I'm saying I'm ready.
I know you're ready. Is your body ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
That's a Nintendo joke. I'll explain to you later.
Oh, okay.
So here we are, talking SpongeBob. It has been a whirlwind of a year for the both of us in many demented ways, and trying to get this together has been a little bit in the making. So thank you for joining me.
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely down now that I actually have a little bit of time to spare with not having to worry about 32 different jobs all at once.
Yeah, at the same time. It's incredible. Yeah. I've never seen someone become a plumber and an electrician at the exact same time. It's a dangerous job, but someone's gotta do it.
Exact same time. Crossing those wires and those streams. Whew.
They're like, can you replace my toilet and replace my my main electrical socket in the bathroom?
Is one actually overflowing onto the other?
Yes.
Yes, I can do that.
Rubber glove me, ma'am. As long as you're wearing rubber, you'll be fine.
Just be careful. Don't get a staph infection in those gloves.
Dude, don't even start with that. Oh my goodness. That was I'm not going to explain the story. I almost had a staph infection on my hands because of gloves, and I went to a lady. I don't want to go to a doctor first. So where's your start out when you want to speak medical? You go to a pharmacist.
Pharmacist, yes.
Yes. So I went to her and I'm like, check this out. What should I put on it, and should I wrap it? And she was like, cortisone, wrap it for 2 days, 3 days tops, and then don't wrap it anymore. And she is a genius. So I didn't pay anything.
She didn't even have to go to school for 7 years.
Yeah, I honestly don't even know if she was working at that pharmacy.
I think she may have been a homeless person.
It might have just been someone in Target walking around buying toilet paper, and I just
You can never tell in Target. They all wear red.
Imagine walking up to somebody with like a staph infection, like, wrap it or not.
Wrap it.
I'm buying Fruit Loops. Can you just please get away from me?
Sorry, ma'am. I thought you were stalking them.
I'm sorry. I thought this was the pharmacy. This isn't Aldi's. There's not even a pharmacy here. Oh, old joke. All right. So the episode Mike and I are going to watch today is Jellyfishing Season 1, Episode 3, Part A, because every episode has 2 parts. Did you watch SpongeBob right when it came out?
I watched SpongeBob from day one.
Same here. Oh, my God. It's a match made in heaven.
Match.
That's all we need. Were you... All right, so growing up, was Nickelodeon the number one channel you were paying attention to? Because I find a lot of people are either Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network as their anchor. Like, that is where you're going.
So I definitely went back and forth between channel 25 and 26. here, which was Nickelodeon
That's always-
and Fox Family. So I was going back and forth between those two, and I didn't watch a lot of the cartoons because I grew up with older siblings. But later on in the later 90s, when all these new cartoons like SpongeBob and all those were coming out, I was pushing more towards them because I would watch like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Hey Dude, Salute Our Shorts, and all
See,
that jazz.
I never got into Hey Dude.
Yeah, I loved
And
Hey
it's-
Dude just because like I liked horses as a kid.
I love their theme song.
Yeah. Hey Dude.
Salute Your Shorts. I definitely watched a tad. Zeke the Plumber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he scared the bejesus
You
out
gotta
of
make
me.
you gotta make a Zeke the Plumber
I'm
mask.
definitely. I'm
that
gonna
is
have
great.
to.
Yeah, I watched Pete and Pete a lot. That was
Mhm.
probably for a live action show with characters. Well, there's all characters in live action shows, but like with storylines and whatnot.
Mhm.
That was not Are You Afraid of the Dark, where
Yep.
it was very much you didn't have to watch every episode. Pete and Pete was my
It's
my
start to
thing.
finish,
All
yeah.
that,
All
but
that.
I really don't
All-
count that
yeah.
too. That was
That was sketch comedy for every age, really. I watched that with my mom, and
I-
she loved it as well.
I was on the floor laughing with Chris Farley shoving ketchup in his face and then body slamming a cake.
yeah.
Which I don't know if you've ever. Keenan Thompson has talked about that
Oh, yeah,
skit.
with where he was just like, I
Cho-
was just going in with chocolate, and Chris, he wanted to go above me.
They said, "Hey, we have one cake. Don't wreck it." And Chris Farley was like, "Okay, can do." Goes in and just completely wrecks the cake on the first take. Oh my goodness. All right, so that's good. With you at least got into Nickelodeon eventually.
yeah.
That was I didn't have Cartoon Network until the late '90s. But was weird.
Same.
What was weird is when I would stay with my grandparents on weekends, they had Cartoon Network.
Mm-hmm. Channel
So,
60.
It's not the same channel everywhere
It's not
you go.
really.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, all
here's
the
what's
Mass,
weird.
like this whole Western Mass was all the same
The
kind
same?
of cable. Yeah, Comcast and all those different networks didn't come over here. It was all like a black
In
box.
Enfield, Nickelodeon is channel 44,
Oh,
and
okay.
Cartoon Network is 58.
Mm,
So it's close
okay.
to 60 though.
Yeah, close to 60.
But we didn't go over. So
No, I think
kinda- we
58
kinda
here
won
was just
Price is
kind of
Right.
like 58 here
was
was
it QVC.
no, it was the TV Guide channel.
Always a fun time.
Always a fun
That was
time.
before- oh my
waiting
God.
waiting to see what was on and then missing it and going ah.
I gotta wait for it to scroll through again.
Oh yeah, I got a premium package. That's 300 channels instead of 100.
I'm not somebody who would tell children, "Oh, you don't know how lucky you have it."
Oh,
But
no.
the simple access of just knowing when something is on.
Mm-hmm. Or having on demand now.
Oh my! The first time I had that, it was like,
It was
this is a
day
miracle.
changer.
And people had TiVo 5 years before that too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they were like, we're in the future already. So
Come on.
get up
With
on my level. The people who own the Tesla Cybertruck in 5 years are going to be
They're going to be like, come on, guys.
guys. We're in the future.
We're in the future.
All right, so yeah, we're watching Jellyfishing. No new characters introduced, except for I think technically King Jellyfish, but he's not really a character.
No, he's
This is the first episode I think that even as a kid, as an adult, I'm all in on Squidward.
mm-hmm.
It's like when you're a kid, it's the same thing with The Simpsons. When The Simpsons came on, everybody loved Bart, and as they got older, they were like Homer.
Oh yeah.
Because we identify with that now. So as a kid, you're like, I love SpongeBob and Patrick, and as an adult, Squidward. That's my spirit animal.
I'm Team Squidward as well.
Absolutely.
Just kind of like, leave me alone. I want to play my clarinet in peace.
I want to paint my paintings. I'm
Yeah.
the greatest. Leave me. My neighbors annoy me. But as a kid, this was the episode that I felt bad for Squidward because I think, even though he's kind of a jerk, he really gets the shaft in on this episode, which is terrible. So we're gonna watch this. Like every other episode I've watched so far, it's on Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime or know someone who has Amazon Prime, get in on that and watch. And it's available on like every other season 1 DVD. So we will be right back.
2,000 years later.
And we're back. We just barely watched an episode. No, we did watch it. And we're going to watch it with you. Make sure the TV is muted. We don't want that. We don't want to get flagged. So if you want to join us, we are going to watch the episode together as much as we can. And as I said, if you're watching on Amazon, we're like right at Painty the Pirate, basically, but we are going to play it now. And yeah, so we watched the episode Jellyfishing, the 3rd season of SpongeBob. I had my list up, and here it is. It first aired July 31st, 1999. I was still 8 years old.
That was a great day.
That was a wonderful day because this episode came out.
And it was hot.
So yeah, we have a lot of French narrator in the beginning of this episode, which that is one of my favorite characters. This episode, I had the director right here.
Oh, come on.
Oh my goodness. Alan Smart. This is actually pretty interesting. Alan Smart was the animation director of this episode, and it was actually the last time he worked as an animation director until season 4. So like literally he was gone for like 3 years.
Oh wow.
I think he was helping out with the show in other ways, but yeah, that was this is the last time as an animation director. Tim Hill, who I think Tim Hill is the director of the newest SpongeBob movie. It was the last time he was a writer until season 4. Well, see, he came back in season 4 as well. I think once they lost Steven Hillenburg after the first movie, they went back to the well a little bit to go get some of those original people to help out again. But I think, Tim Hill is the director. Yes, Tim Hill is the director of the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run.
Sponge on the Run.
Which is, it's crazy. The game for the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, the second one, had a tie-in game on phones called Sponge on the Run, and it was like one of those endless runners.
Oh, kind of like the maze
like Subway Surfer, like 3D where you're just moving. You have 3 lanes. So I've had that. It was a paid one, which I was like, I'll pay $1.
And when was that? How far back was that?
It was like 4 years ago. Whenever Sponge Out of Water was. I'm terrible with years.
Yeah.
Ugh. So yeah, that's crazy. This is the first time we are introduced to the concept of jellyfishing, which is both underwater. Jellyfish are basically the underwater version of insects because they sting, but also the underwater version of fishing. So it's like insect catching, but it's fishing.
Combo fusion type deal going on there.
Yeah, and it completely changed nets for me forever. So as a child, I couldn't, and even as an adult, as a child,
you just want to go out and get a jellyfish.
Yeah, when I see a net, it's like, oh, jellyfishing.
You're like, oh no.
Oh, you going jellyfishing? They're like, no, I'm going fishing.
That doesn't
lame.
Exist.
Yeah, you're making that up. What, are you gonna go on a boat, ride on the water, and not drive? What a loser. So we were having a conversation about this while the episode was playing. Squidward's bike.
Now, I don't think that would actually work underwater.
Yeah, I'm interested now. Obviously, the instead of the wheels, those are clearly it's wood. Wood is buoyant.
So that is the buoyant part, and the bike has to be made out of some sort of maybe leaded weighted material.
Whatever the most lightweight metal.
Yeah.
That you can actually keep a frame on that wouldn't crush under your weight.
Yeah, because there would be no buoyancy keeping that bike afloat at all if it was just like that normally.
I know you would sink. Now, if you made that, I know as a human being underwater, if you were attached to that, you would sink. My one hope is that if you actually got some pedaling going, if you would have any forward momentum. So if you were just dive bombing down, but you were still moving forward,
it would have to be somewhat kind of like how they make those like Sea-Doo bikes.
Yeah, you brought that up, and those, but the wheels on those are actual.
Those are
buoyant.
actual buoyant and filled with air.
Which seems like after jet skis.
Well, like, oh yeah, let's make a water bike. On top of water, by the way, not underwater. You're maybe like 3-4 inches under the water.
Have you ever seen those cars that are amphibian?
Yes.
Not the duck boats in Boston.
Kind of like the ones in Spy Kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it Jerry Seinfeld? I feel like his show Getting Coffee in Cars with comedians. I think it was an episode of that he actually had like a car that was.
Oh yeah,
he just drove into the water.
He's like, oh okay, Seinfeld.
The fact that we haven't pushed that technology to where, like, every car is just driving on the
They'd
water.
be like, oh
is
yeah, we just gotta
insane to
wait
me.
on this bridge for I don't know, 2 hours waiting for the ferry.
Suckers, you move back and the water.
Have fun waiting for the ferry.
See you guys. So Squidward really didn't. Usually, you get karma in episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the crime does justify the karma. He was making fun of them for jellyfishing. He wasn't stopping them from doing their thing. He was just like, losers.
Yeah, he was just saying, hey, you're doing something a little childish. I want to go do my thing. You're kind of annoying me.
And I'm riding my bike. I'm riding my bike that can't work underwater.
Now I am in a full 100% body cast.
Yeah. Causing an explosion. I don't know what he landed on.
No,
it was
and
probably on
underwater,
pies.
too.
Bomb pies. SpongeBob reference. Come on now.
Also, what was that bike made out of to make it explode?
A bomb.
A whole bomb.
So he gets home. Poor guy, he has no one to pick him up. Like, he probably called Mr. Krabs. Like, can you pick me up? Mr. Krabs like, I'm not spending money on gasoline to come pick you up from the hospital. Drive yourself. You also, this was really interesting. You mentioned earlier in the episode when SpongeBob and Patrick are going into their secret basement for jellyfishing.
It's very Simon Pegg, Nick Frost scene.
Very
Just
Simon Pegg, Nick
cut,
Frost.
cut, ready.
But also the backgrounds.
The
How
backgrounds
abstract
are
and
just
beautiful they are.
Some of them are like Jackson Pollock paintings right now. We've got greens on yellow greens.
Like, how would you achieve? You would have to either have that as a wallpaper in your house or spend all day or all month
just
painting.
splatter painting.
Just, what are you doing? Making my room look like Squidward's house. Could be done.
Yeah, and there are many different backgrounds in every house, and they change constantly.
These were, this might be something you don't know. I've mentioned this on the podcast before. Season 1 of SpongeBob was the only season where it was all traditional animation cells, so painted backgrounds.
You can definitely tell in multiple cells, especially outside Squidward's house, the way the rock is created. I noticed that when we were watching it previously. One frame, all of the white dots actually shift completely.
Yeah, one right over.
Yep.
It's those little mistakes you got to appreciate.
Yep.
Firmly grasp it in your hand. And probably the second...
Firmly grasp it.
Here it comes.
Oh.
The real angry...
And that's a classic. Everyone was saying that in school.
Firmly grasp it in your hand.
It
means nothing as a child.
Yeah, but...
As an adult, you can still use that phrase.
Yep.
Just watch where you're saying it.
Exactly.
The fact I appreciate SpongeBob's dress of safety, the glasses.
Thick glasses. You find out he may have an astigmatism.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a subconscious reason why I got thick frame glasses.
Yep.
Like, I want to make it look like I'm always going jellyfishing.
You're just like, I am ready.
And Patrick wearing nothing. I don't know. Have you ever, when I was a kid, have you ever encountered a jellyfish before? Have you ever been stung by a jellyfish?
I have not been stung, but I have had jellyfish fights.
I'm sorry, what?
So
is that like a form of chicken fighting?
So growing up, we'd go to Rhode Island a lot, and a lot of the time, or South Carolina, and a lot of the time, sometimes huge storms would happen. A bunch of jellyfish would die, wash up on shore.
Yeah.
No stingers are left. So you just have a dead jellyfish
You would
fight.
toss at each other?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Imagine if the stingers were intact and you're just throwing bombs at each.
Then it would be a peeing party.
I ran into one jellyfish. I didn't run into it, but I had one encounter as a child. I was at the beach with my aunt, and they were, I think, pretty rampant. And I think I sat on one in the water, thinking like, "Oh, look at this seat," and got stung. Now that was probably it was known to pee on the wound. I didn't know that. They brought me to the lifeguard station and poured something on my back. Probably stored urine. I don't know how lifeguards what they do in their spare time. But for the rest of the day, I took my little pail and my little shovel and I was digging holes in the beach and putting I was murdering jellyfish It was a double. It was double meaning because not only was I like, "Ha, you're going in this hole," but also if somebody happens to put their blanket over this hole and sit down on it, they'd get stung. Practical joke. Ha
Ha ha.
ha. That second part didn't happen, but
No, first time I ever learned about jellyfish was a Baywatch episode back in the 90s with a box jellyfish, and it scared the heck out of me. I didn't want to go in
Yeah,
the water
those-
after that.
those are tough. Thank goodness we don't have to deal with the Portuguese man o' war. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen those?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, with
Huge.
like 20-foot length
Yeah.
tentacles.
I actually think that might actually have been part of that episode because they had wicked long. I'll look it up later.
Yeah, absolutely. At least SpongeBob and Patrick by the end. Now, they had pretty good intentions throughout the episode, but they were a little too harsh on
They were a
Squidward,
little
and-
selfish with what they had going on.
Yeah, and so they got stung, but nothing compared to Squidward's injuries. Who has to drive his hospital bed home? I just want to bring that up again. How sad that is.
And he just wants to go right in that door, but that door is not automatic open.
Good thing they put a Capri Sun up for him.
Yeah.
Like, here's some juice for the ride. Maybe Squidward doesn't have insurance, so he wakes up from surgery and he's like, "I gotta drive out of here." With the
So he
with the
just
bed.
kind of just like dined and dashed, but at the hospital, Bikini Bottom.
Yeah. He's like, "Wait a minute, this has wheels. I gotta get out. I gotta leave. I gotta drive out of here. I don't have insurance." And for some reason now, in the SpongeBobpedia, which I do get a lot of my information from, they put this as Queen Jellyfish, which we've seen the King Jellyfish before
A little crayon.
in a later episode. So I don't know if they're just divorced.
Or something happened between Queen and Squidward.
Yeah. He was like, "I saw you with that guy. You were stinging."
Yeah, that
This is over.
That could have been his Moby Dick.
The book?
Yeah, the book.
They're actually this episode doesn't have a lot of trivia in it, really, other than that stuff I mentioned. But yeah, I mean, not every episode is going to have a ton of trivia. But that was
Yeah.
a good episode. It's an important episode because it sets up a lot, basically the idea of jellyfishing.
That dynamic between Squidward and Patrick
his neighbors.
and
I mean, now you
SpongeBob, yeah.
understand exactly why he hates these guys, because they put him in big giant body casts.
He just wants his days off to be his own.
Yeah, put the locks on the door, and you just want to be not annoyed by your neighbors. But you know what? He doesn't have the initiative to leave. So.
No, he doesn't. He's just like, I want my best day to be my best day, even though it's not SpongeBob and Patrick's ideal best day.
Absolutely. So before we head out, do you want to promote anything? Any online ventures you are into? Your Instagram, Twitter? You can say no and stay in the shadows. That's completely up to you.
So, like,
I'm just giving you this platform for SpongeBob fans.
I'm a special effects artist, and
There
if
you
you want to
go.
check out my Instagram, Michael Vincent Custom FX, go check that out. I actually do a lot of 90s cartoon characters on there. I do quick sculpts, so 30-minute sculptures on a head bust. And my next big project, if you guys are big fans of the 90s TV show Gargoyles, I will be
love it.
doing in 2020. I'll be doing.
Seemingly full body costumes, right?
Oh yeah, I'll be doing wings, tails, everything. I'll be doing Demona and Brooklyn. So look forward to progress.
No
through
Goliath.
Those two characters. Goliath is just he is a monstrosity, and I think my favorite were just Demona and
You know
Brooklyn.
what? But also, if you mess up those characters, no offense to them, it's not the biggest deal in the world. But if you mess up Goliath,
people would just be like, what the heck?
I am shocked. Out of all the Disney shows to do full body costumes for, you're not jumping on the gummy bears.
Gummy bears. We have nothing to do with gummy bears.
It'll happen
Yeah,
one
one
day.
day.
One day, I'll get my gummy bear dream. All right. I'm sure I'll have you on another episode of the show
I
eventually.
cannot wait.
As long as if one fan out there can find Mike on his Instagram and just go, hey, I listened to you on SpongePod, one person, that would make my day.
Oh my God, really?
Well, just one. That's all it takes. So if you're listening to this, find him and do it. Because I'm your captain and I'm telling you what to do. Do you want to yell "Ahoy, mateys"? Or no? What's a goodbye? And I don't think I did. I have a goodbye? I don't remember.
I'm down to sit. I'm down to yell whatever you want to yell, man.
What's the nautical version to say goodbye? Because ahoy is low. I don't think ahoy is goodbye. Not sponsored. Looking up on Google. I mean, unless Google came to me and said, hey, we like what you're doing. Nautical version of goodbye. Let's see. Oh, okay. You ready for this one?
Go for it.
Goodbye.
Oh, all right. Goodbye.
Goodbye there.
Goodbye there, mateys.